Greetings, everyone. Another Stargods vlog. It's going to be a serious subject, but before I get into it, I want to make mention that I'm making exclusive videos for Patreon members. Next one's going to be in about a couple of days. I'll drop one in, and this is for people who have donate anything. I don't care. 50, 50 cents. Um, what do I say? So I'm not sure if I'm really uh, doing it right. The idea is if you're on the Patreon list, then I send you a link to a video. I send a link to a video that it's exclusive to Patreon. You have to be a Patreon member to get the link, but I don't know. I think it may be being screwed up by YouTube, but we'll see. Anyways, I want to talk about something. It's very, very serious, and I tell you, it's very serious. And when you talk about it, things begin to happen. This isn't it. This isn't the original video. I've had to do it again because I originally sat down to do it, and I started feeling really sick instantly. Sick. This is what happens with Archons and their control system. So I did it. I came back later on and I did it, and I couldn't find it. It's not anywhere on the computer. It disappeared. Um, I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's the Archons, but I wouldn't doubt. Well, the two are the synonymous, right? So I want to talk about the Archons. And I don't have very much time now because of all the other one has disappeared. So hopefully I'll be able to get this one out that I got enough time. It all starts with the Archons, with the old mystic teachings of the early Christians, the original Christians, stated that there was a goddess of wisdom named Sophia, and she wanted to create God the Father, a duplicate of God the Father, I guess her version or whatever, but she didn't use her male consort, which was Christ. And so what happened is she gave birth to a, what do you call it, abortion, basically. And Jehovah was so ugly, both mentally and physically. She hid him in the darkest regions of the frequencies. She hit him in a place which was well below lower frequencies. And the early Christians referred to Jehovah as a devil. He's a devil, and he needed a food supply. He draws negative energy, and he needed a food supply, so he created six other archons like himself, and they are the gods. They were seen as the gods of the heavens, and they need a food supply. So Adam and Eve were created so they could replenish the earth, because it says in the Bible that there were cities broken down. It was void and dark on the earth, and Jehovah had to kickstart the whole thing again because he's destroyed the world in the past world. I think Jeremiah 4, if my memory serves me right, Jeremiah 4 is about the broken down cities. So he needed a food supply, and the food supply is us. We are the cattle that are kept in a pen where we spend our entire lives in this pen, and we produce out of negative energy. The more anxiety we have, depression and tragedy and everything, and post-trauma existence effects, because this world is a meat grinder, the more milk we provide. This milk is loosh. It's negative energy, low vibration negative energy that they ingest like flies on a corpse. this world is a corpse, you know. And yeah, that's a quote from Jesus of the Gospel of Thomas. If you haven't read the Gospel of Thomas or the book of Enoch, you're not really interested in the truth, or it's just too much for you to handle. So we produce the loosh. So what they do is to make our environment extremely depressing, fill us with anxiety, panic attacks, and that creates more loosh. So the more they torture us, the more loosh we have. Now they have their archons in positions of power in every aspect of our existence that they have corrupted from the very beginning. Science is fake. The biggest fake of all is quantum physics. It's embarrassing. Uh, Repeatable science is no longer exists. It's the interpretation of an experiment that becomes factual. That's really, really not right. So they've positioned themselves in it because they were here before we were. We were created by them to give them Jehovah and his six creations, the gods, have all, well, they all came together to create the flesh. This is why the flesh is evil and the spirit is pure, because the spirit is from God the Father, the true God, not Jehovah God. Jehovah God is a God wannabe. He just he figures he's got an ego. He is the God of the flesh, and he created Adam and Eve, but he couldn't get Adam going, but had to be tricked into breathing the spirit of life within Adam, and then Jehovah lost power. Jehovah is not that all powerful. Most of the power went into Adam. And Jehovah looked at him. He knew there was a spirit in Adam because Adam stood up. And then he says, "Who are you?" Basically, this is according to the Gnostic Gospels, Gnostic Christian Gospels. And he said, "I have come to destroy your kingdom from within." And that's what we do. If we're born from above, we are here to destroy Jehovah's kingdom on earth. His evil. He is he's the God of oh, so many distractions. He's the God of vengeance, wrath, genocide. He's an evil God. He's an evil God. His answer to everything is extreme violence and extermination. Oh, I'm getting diverted here. So, where do I begin with? My encounter with the Archons was when I was 12 years old. I'm in my 60s. 12 years old, I had a nightmare, and the nightmare got me to go into my parents' bedroom and be with them during the night because I felt scared. It was a bad nightmare. And so I fell asleep. I felt confident enough to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, I felt somebody jab me with their thumb. I just went, "What?" I freaked out. I closed my eyes. I didn't want to open them. And so I'd forgot about it all over the years. I didn't know what it was. I felt like somebody was in the room. But I read a book. I picked up a book. I wanted to confirm my experiences and stuff with the book of Shadow People. And Shadow People is another name given for the Archons, along with other names like skinwalkers and reptilians and various other things. When they're in their true form, they're just energy. They're energy, and then their form is reptilian, which gives way to the gray aliens, which they're not really gray, but anyways, the gray aliens are the foot soldiers for the reptilians. That's basically well established. They're monkeying around. They've never stopped monkeying around with our DNA. And oh my goodness, I'm getting just So, see, this is all part of what they do, eh? Just to distract people. And they are the parasite, we are the host, and we can be born with one who will be our parasite for the rest of our lives. They control our thoughts. Sometimes they're the whisperers. They whisper in our ears bad things that we go, oh, wait a minute, what about that? They haven't you ever walked down a street or something, or you've been in bed or whatever, and all of a sudden the really ugly demonic thought comes into your head, and you go, whoa, where did that come from? Well, I'll tell you, it came from the Archons. That's what they do. They control all our thoughts through the media, through fake education, fake media, fake science. Everything is all lies, built upon lies. That could be a whole video in itself. We are here to be food for the gods. We are food for the gods. And the gods are the seven archons. Each has a planet of their own, and they were so I'm not sure. These are visible planets with the naked eye, and I'm not sure if Uranus or Neptune or anything even exists, because NASA is completely fraudulent and deal with it. Now now there's information that we may live on a flat Earth with a dome. All the ancients taught that, but suddenly one day it was just thrown out. It was just thrown out. If that's true, that really makes a lot of sense, because that spells prison. Uh, we can't get above low Earth orbit. We can't go beyond that because there's an impenetrable barrier. Some say it's the ancient culture, some say it was glass, some say it was iron, sapphire, whatever. But the bottom line is there's a barrier that we don't get through because we're not allowed to go out there to the stars. The stars, I have learned, are portals. They're not just light, they're lights in them emanating from portals. And so you go to Jupiter, you're not going to land on Jupiter. You're not going to land on Mars. That's the fake story. They have turned a 2D universe into a 3D universe that goes on forever and ever and ever. No, the stars are embedded in the dome. As the dome moves around the Earth, so do the stars. If we enter into Mars, then we end up in a world, a different alternative world known as Mars. There's no land there. There's nothing to land on. It's all fake. We've been told lies after lies after lies. The Archons are they're Decepticons, and they have implanted themselves on the top of every institution on Earth and control it. And their vehicle of Trojan horse is the Masons. They sit on top. They control all the corporations. Our fight is not necessarily with the government. It's against the corporations. The corporations should be brought down, and they can if people unite and boycott them. That's it. So I don't know how I got off the subject, but I was going to talk about my first encounter, and I talked about the thumb, and I read in the book that the Archons as dark shadows, shadow people. That's what they do. They poke people. I don't know why. It's kind of like a silly thought, but they'll really poke people. And that woke me up, and I was aware of an Archon that was with me ever since that day. Ever since that day, I was troubled by an Archon who came into my dreams every night almost, and was a same old dream. I'm going down the hall or something. I flick on the light, but it doesn't go on. And I flick, and then I feel its presence right in front of me. And it just started to really extract my energy big time. and then I scream and I wake up. Then I got to a point in my life where, gee, I hope I'm not running out of time here. A point in my life where I thought, that's it. I'm not going to be a victim anymore. That's it. I'm fighting back. And what I did was just turn all my energy against them. Before I would fall asleep, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Then this particular Archon would come for me. And I'd get him by the throat and I'd squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. But I still didn't get victory over him. I did this for a long time. We had fights, wrestling matches, where we were just pulling each other. And after a while, it didn't happen overnight. It took some time. After a while, I was getting stronger and stronger. And I kept focusing my mind against them. Not being a victim and getting scared and take sleeping pills or whatever. No, I was fixated. I was fixated on them. I'm going to kill him. I am going into the dreamscape and I'm going to kill him. And I kept attacking him and I kept losing the battle. But then I was getting stronger and stronger. Now he was starting to go down more and more and more. And finally, in the end, I expressed my power of intention and I envisioned him burning up. And he did. He burned up into ashes. And I've never been bothered since, except two of his cohorts came one time and I destroyed them. I destroyed them too. So it was all a matter of believing in myself and not believing that I was powerless, that I was born in sin and I'm just shite on Jehovah's shoe and I should be scraped off at Armageddon. No, I didn't buy into that. I have power within. This is the Christ within. Call it whatever you want. The power within. Call it the universe within. Call it anything you want, but it's there. It represents, this is where all the goodness of mankind comes from. The altruism, the imagination, art. Let's not leave out creativity and love, compassion, abundance. It all comes from the spirit within, because the Archons created the flesh, but they didn't create the spirit. Now so their appearance, their form is usually reptilians, but people don't. They laugh and they laugh. Reptilians, oh, they laugh and they laugh. You don't believe in a reptilian because you wear a mask and you've never been scratched on the neck by a reptilian. I've had encounters with amazing, weird, bizarre encounters. But every time you talk about them, it kind of attracts them too. So you have to be careful. Because when I started the video, I got really sick. And now I'm out of time. I may not even be able to finish this now. I got to keep looking at the time here. The best thing to do is to oppose them. But like the outer limits, they control the horizontal, they control the vertical. They're in all our literature. They have corrupted our literature. They have brought down our morals and our values, and they brought it down to the ground, and they've thrown it into a big wine press, and they're stomping it and stomping it. There is no morality anymore. There is no freedom anymore. It's gone. We've been brought down to the level of the beast. What kind of vibration do you get from a beast? Loosh is what you get from a beast. Higher up vibrations of faith in yourself, love for family is oh dear, that's the phone. So maybe I'll make a part 2 on this. I'll bring up a part 2. Thank you very much.